the Bulls and the Sharks are playing. Behind the posts, it's 100 Rand for a ticket. Against Italy, Springboks against Italy right now, the cheapest ticket is 1,050 Rand behind the posts.
Ellis Park.
Wait, really? Against Italy?
Yeah.
But last year Mbumbela was 1-5.
Thank you. For?
Argentina. And it was a game decider, and if the Boks won, you got to watch them lift up the fucking trophy.
Exactly. But behind the post at Loftus, against Italy, it's 1,050 Rand.
And by the tunnel? Because that's that.
By the tunnel, that's I'm sure that 3,000, 3,2.
That doesn't make sense because.
And then I understand the demand, but guys, no.
Nah, I agree with you.
You can read.
Welcome to Balls and Banter, Season 4, Episode 5. We are at the home of rugby in Johannesburg, Hogshead, Ilovo. Come, give me something, boys! As you can see, I'm joined with an esteemed panel of boys from the alma mater over here. The Cares boys are in town today. So my boys over here, I've got Dan, I've got Josh. Boys, I've got your intros. I'm going to read them, and I'm going to start with the man on the far right over here, Joshua.
Halala.
So the theme of today's intros was Springboks and who I think you guys are.
Wait, okay.
Okay.
All right. So this here goes. Originally was part of the engine room, but like a smart man, he decided to move to the side of the scrum. The son of the soil or the son of the Branas and Coke.
Branas.
Don't blink or else he'll crunch your ribcage like the bone collector he is. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Willem Albert's third cousin, Joshua Tutuzi Smego. Halala. And then we have the special guest today.
Big Dan.
All right.
Big Dan.
So, the enforcer of the group. Always a good time, but not afraid of a scuffle. I wonder what he'd look like if he shaved a mohawk. But I'm sure we could ask RG's name. A presence on the field, you'd love him as a teammate, but hate him as an opponent. True. I'm sure he can curl 30 kgs, 40 kgs, like his lookalike. Eben Etzebeth, we have Big Dan Rousseau.
Let's go, Big Dan.
Owens, it's Season 4, Episode 5. Like I mentioned, we're at Hogshead, probably the best place to watch rugby in Johannesburg.
True.
And without wasting any time, as you can see our fucking spov over here, Oaks, it's the rugby episode. So yeah, man, boys. Are the boys lacquer today?
I know I'm not, boy. It's early, but let's go.
Hey, man, it's 4 o'clock somewhere in the world, the cliche says.
Not here, my brother.
Yeah, definitely not. But gents, I would love to get started with the URC playoffs that are going on right now. What a fucking crazy round in terms of the quarterfinals. And I think we can break it down quarterfinal by quarterfinal. So the first game was Stormers versus Glasgow, happened on Friday night. Was disappointing, I'm not going to lie. We watched it over here. Score was 36-18. My biggest pickups from that game was Stormers just make too many mistakes in bad areas, bruh. It's not the team that that won the URC in 2021, 2022?
3 years ago.
No, it was 2022, yeah.
3 years ago, yeah.
So I don't know what you guys picked up from that game.
Go for it, Dan. Go for it, Dan.
Stormers last week. One thing I picked up was just straight up first-time tackles, defense. Glasgow likes to send it out wide from their 22, and they like to do it immediately as soon as they can. And in terms of the covering tackles, etc., I think, look, we saw some of our star boys
Get exposed.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But other than that, I just think, look, like you said, it's not the Stormers we know. We understand they've been going through a lot of injuries, but generally it comes down to an attitude thing when it comes down to knockout rugby that anybody can see.
And I think it's an attitude thing when it comes to defense, bro.
There we go.
Be willing to put your head in dark places, bro.
Yeah.
So fucking agree with you there, bro.
No. It wasn't the Stormers we know. They were not shaking and baking. They got cooked.
Nief Nation.
You understand? They got cooked under pressure, and I think the hype that it was going to be the first time Dobbo has his backline, full backline, where it was your boy
Manele Boks, Sasha Feinberg.
You know,
Willemse was fucking banned.
Yeah, he was banned,
Wasn't going to change anything.
Wasn't going to change anything, but it's knockout rugby, gents. It's knockout football. Get the basics right. ABC, dog. You don't kick for poles if you're going to kick for poles. If you kick to touch, make sure your lineouts are working. And just make sure everything is according to T. If you want to shake and bake, start after. Make sure the foundation is right.
You've got to earn the rights, as they say.
Exactly. Earn the rights to play sexy football.
Exactly.
But now if you're going to want to start playing sexy football, the Scottish come with like, okay, play your sexy football.
Grunt.
We'll give you the ball. Play.
Straight
Let's
grunt.
see how you're going to go.
Yeah.
And what happened to them.
Yeah.
For me, like, I don't want to make excuses for the Stormers because I genuinely don't think they are an elite team. They're a really good team. They're a really good team. But in terms of being the team that won the URC comp, that had Kitchoff, it had Malherbe. Those boys were flipping the core of that team, bruh. And the fact that those guys are now gone or injured,
Type 5.
I just feel, we're going to get there. I just feel like the Stormers need to retool again. You see what the Bulls are doing in terms of retooling. Jake White is saying, I've got that Rupert money. I'm getting every single Springbok that has played,
The
bruh.
Rupert and Mutsipe money, and it's
And I feel like
yeah.
the Stormers are still so tight on their money with it, bruh. Dan?
Yeah, with regards to the Stormers, and you said now, like, you got to earn the right. So let's say going out wide. But one thing I noticed, and I'm not trying to slate him. I mean, I absolutely love Sasha.
Chat your shit.
Yeah, but one thing I've noticed
for it,
with
boy.
the Stormers is, so the game starts. Okay, Glasgow come in, they're testing our defense for 10 minutes. They're sussing us out. Okay, the Stormers. I don't think we got past 5 phases in the first 15 minutes.
true.
So one, your attack, you know, sometimes attack is the best form of defense, but in terms
100%.
of like the way the Stormers handled themselves and how the preparation into it and the expectation, all of this, it's kind of like you could see like they got their wires all in a tangle.
Tears in headlights.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not going to say it, but the drop goal was amazing, the attempt, but it was out of nowhere. Then what happened? From their 22, back to the Stormers 22. That little random chip kick that Sasha did on the 50, he put it into space. It had a little bit too much meat on it. Who was that? That Rory Dodge, I think. He collected the ball, he takes us back to our 22. So it's like, you know, like number one, you can't be like trying to be cheeky in quarterfinal rugby in the first 10 minutes
Never.
against a side
That
like
makes
Glasgow.
Never.
And that to me was like their biggest downfall, and they never got into it. Then you say the forwards. Sorry to keep going, but you say the forwards.
Go for it,
I
bro.
think, to me personally, like I said again, it's an attitude problem. That team is fine, gents. Van Heerden, what's his name? Van Heerden, right?
Jay Van Heerden.
Jay.
Come on, guys. I mean, look at the stats he's pulling.
He's in the box squad for a reason.
100%, bro. Yes, I understand the Stormers, you know, they're a little bit short on like how we would like it, especially the fact that kind of like, I would assume that Cape Town is, you know, brings in the best form of talent. And, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So
Exactly.
The thing is, it's like, yeah, I just got to say, that game wasn't prepared properly, and if it was, the players didn't listen, or they just weren't in the game.
Josh, can I cut you off quickly before you go?
Yeah.
Dan just said in terms of the Stormers were playing Glasgow. I think people in Nyata who Glasgow are. Gents, Glasgow went to Loftus last year
And beat them there.
the Bulls in a final.
I was there.
Did you see the look on their faces on Friday?
They were ready.
Even the South Africans were looking at like, hey, Buti, come here, Chom.
Piers
Come here.
Koeman and all of them, dog, they were ready. They knew. They're like, I'm channeling it in. Guys, if you don't have a proper tight 5, you are not winning any knockout rugby game in the world. I can put my 2 cents
I'd
on
say
it.
a knockout comp, not necessarily a game. You can sneak past the game. You can.
I said
Yeah, your
knockout.
tight 5 needs to be shot through set pieces throughout the next 3 games if you're going from quarters
Boy,
to final. Your
from
set
quarters,
pieces need to be
quarter,
hot.
semi-final. You're not winning anything. Look at what happened at Loftus last year. They made sure that it's just basic rugby, ABC,
And hard.
ABC, and hard.
And hard.
They were taking their points. They were keeping the ball tight. If they want to play, they give it to the Bulls to play. What happened?
In the bad areas, bro. I remember that match, bro. And
So,
the Bulls,
yeah.
I think in the last 10 minutes, I've never seen a Bulls team like
Buckle
panic
up. Yeah, they
and literally
buckle.
cringe up because the Bulls are 3-time Super Rugby champs. That is South
Twice.
Africa's
They're the face of our club rugby.
Three times,
Hands
Yeah,
down.
Okay.
they are the face of South African rugby in terms of knockout comps. But I think, for me, like Dan has said, he thinks it's still a good team. You're saying tight 5. I'm saying Stormers need to retool. Dobbo's still a good coach. I think
he's good.
One of the
I
best
think
man
Dobbo.
managers in the country.
No, he's good.
Coach.
No.
Even the way he just expresses emotions, it's almost like Rasi-esque. But yeah, Jobbo just panics gang, I must say, bruh. But to move on to quarterfinal number 2, which was basically Leinster versus Scarlet, aka Ireland, with RGS Neyman versus Wales. Was a good game, bro.
It was nice. It was an entertaining game.
Was an entertaining game.
I won't lie. It was very entertaining.
And I actually found the chinks in Leinster's armor that people have been talking about. I saw it. That team has so much emotional scarage. La Rochelle, I think last year, they got waxed in the final in the Champions Cup. This year, Northampton Saints smoked them by, I think, not smoked, they lost by 3 points, Champions Cup.
They got a lot of highlight reels out of that game. So that's when you know that the team's putting in the performance.
Exactly. So the Leinster team is probably the best team balanced 1 to 15 because everyone is either a fucking Irish international or you've got a French guy, like I said, a Jody Barrett, an R.G. Snyman. But I think up here, that team is carrying so much damage, bro, from the big games they've lost.
BMT is not existing.
And I must say, a lot of banters from around the world is aimed at Leinster.
Hey, man.
They deserve it.
In terms of URC, there is, the Bulls for South Africa, Edinburgh, Glasgow. Well, we're going to say Glasgow for Scotland because at the moment that was their performance last week was I really actually somehow enjoyed. To a point where it was okay watching us get a little bit.
100%. Good rugby is good rugby at the end of the day.
It was good rugby, and that's just what we come for. It's fine. Also, we've got 2 teams in the semis.
There we go.
Yeah, so it's
a South African team is already in the final.
Exactly. But with regards to Leinster, it's like, they are the URC big dog. Whenever people talk about let's have a cross match between the New Zealand clubs or the Pacific clubs.
They want Leinster.
It's Leinster Crusaders.
It's always Leinster,
yeah. This year it's been Chiefs, but generally if we speak
they just
over
lost,
a
if you didn't know.
They just
We're on the ball.
I just saw a picture on Facebook and Rico was going like this. So I'm very interested to hear of that later. But so in terms of that, Leinster is the grunt. And we would be if we could budget and finance all our players, because I'm telling you now, if you look at the 40 players we have overseas, I could make an international side out of that could go on and do some pretty good damage.
We'll go there. We'll touch on that. We'll touch on that.
Let me not go off topic. But Leinster, I must say, I mean, they caught up to it. Everyone was saying after the game with Northampton, yes. It's they could have done with Geordie. They had it. It was a bit of defense. They had a bit of a dig at Jacques and Achia, that whole Pollock coming through shorts, etc. But I just... Where was I going with this? Yeah, just with regards to Leinster, it's like, you're right, they're not looking like the club that they should be, and that what we've all held them up in that respective light as a brand for the URC.
Yep. Joshua?
Dan has basically said everything and anything regarding that semi-final. I mean, no, not semi-final, quarterfinals, just that we're at semi-final stage right now. Leinster, it's up to them. Literally, it's up to them. Munster shocked. And everyone was having them.
They weren't going to...
So I can't really... It was a nice game, I won't lie. It was a nice game. I thought Leinster was going to, smack them.
I thought it was going to be a runaway.
Yeah, right? Exactly. But at least shout out to them.
I was about to say bend over, I'm joking.
But yeah, man, I can't really say much because you've said much. And the proper test is today. How are they going to perform against Glasgow?
The defending champions.
You understand?
Can I just call it?
Call it.
Okay.
After last week, you had Tweet a lot to the Australian having a time. Tom Jordan, the Kiwi, having a time. Carl Steyn, the Safa, having a time. Some of our other Safas having a time.
I just wonder
Rory
if...
Dodge.
Rory Dodge is good.
Yeah.
Proper.
So in other words, you've got all these guys from all over the world in one team performing. So that's really cool in the one. But I'm just going to say prediction-wise, Glasgow by 7.
Woo! That's a lot.
At the RDS or Aviva, wherever they're playing in Ireland.
Leinster and home games, please.
Ooh, okay, Dan.
That's
a hot take. That's a hot take. The first hot take.
I'll give you another one.
Come on, Jason.
So if Dan's prediction comes through, the coach of Leinster, Leo Cullen, is chucking.
Of course.
You can't lose 2 semi-finals in a year for both URC, I think, and then lose a final and a semi-final Champions Cup. There's no chance that's happening.
What have they won?
Loaded up that team.
What have they won?
Rico Ioane is coming to your team now.
Nah, dog. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard.
Leinster have never won the URC, dog. Stormers, Munster, which pulls Glasgow.
Yeah.
This year we'll see who wins.
I think
they haven't won this comp in 4 years yet.
Jeez.
And they're the biggest team in Europe, arguably.
Bro, I think their budget's bigger than the Springboks budget. I'm not even kidding.
I won't go against you. We don't know. It's just that we
Bro, they
will never
were
know
complaining.
finances, but
Yeah.
it might be there.
In terms of club rugby, it's not even
Maybe
a
I'm
comparison
lying,
for us.
but the Irish Sevens program got canned now. And they were saying, no, they weren't making enough money. Where do you think that money is going to go?
Leinster
There we go.
and Munster, but hey,
Keeping the talent actually like
in Ireland,
because I mean, let's not go off topic, but even that new Irish squad came out, and I only saw like in the whole squad 6 debutants, and I was like, but Ireland under 20s 3 years ago thumped us. They thumped a few.
Yeah, I think they thumped New Zealand to be corrected, but I'll
exactly.
check. Yeah.
So it's like, I was expecting to see more stars because you got okes like Rassie who's calling up, what was it now, 70-something people.
54 people, boy. That's quite a few.
Yeah. And now you finally get this chance to utilize a squad against fairly decent size, great competition. Georgia, Portugal, it's perfect for okes who are coming through the ranks.
Big boys are going on tour.
Italy.
Yeah.
And the Barbarian squad is coming up proper, but we'll talk about that later.
We're getting off track. But last, like, just with the Irish, you'd think.
Excitement.
Six
season, boys.
debutants in a squad of 30. I was expecting like 10, 12, and I was excited for that. Because I want to start seeing that. I love competitive rugby. And yes, we don't want them beating the Boks, but we still want them at the top. We still want rugby to be great. And I was like, 6 debutants.
That is, I think, honestly, Ireland is struggling in terms of like blooding new talent because they had that core group which was just fucking Kane.
Sexton and all.
Sexton and the boys, O'Mahony, that grit. And now O'Mahony gone, Cian Healy gone, flipping, who else? Conor Murray gone. So it's a big shift for them, Brian. I think they need to retool, but whether they're willing to do it or not, I don't know. But boys, quarterfinal number 3, where I was there, Bulls versus Edinburgh, I had to be Malume there. So I actually watched some of the game.
I watched that game hungover. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Talk Afrikaans.
I did, boys. Can I tell you something? Actually, I wore my Varsity Cup t-shirt, my Operiff shirt.
Yeah.
Guess who was still the sponsor at that time?
Steinhoff.
Boy,
Yeah.
they all stopped me. They said, hey, Steinhoff.
They took their money.
What's going on with Steinhoff? I was like, hey, man, Operiff, focus on this. Man. Yo, guys, I was like, who's
Steinhoff again?
Steinhoff was
Marcus
that
Jooste, the guy who stole so much money, bro. Billionaire.
Oh.
Yeah. It was,
man.
And then now, apparently, he's dead.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. But yeah, man, boys, that game was 42-33, if I'm not mistaken. Can I just tell you something about the Bulls? Bulls just need to stop messing around, dog, in games. They had a yellow card. They were trailing, I think, in the first half, bro. But at no point did I think they were going to lose that match. But I was just annoyed by the fact, it's like, why are you doing these mistakes? This is when you should be cleaning up everything. And Jake has been complaining about this, like, from the Bulls, bro.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
Yeah, okay, with regards to the Bulls, number 1, Khoisi's back this weekend.
Okay.
Which is,
Bush is back?
no disrespect to Johannes, but you want someone who's got experience at 10, a general.
Yeah.
Which makes it that all 4 sides playing this weekend have a 10 that has international caps.
Ooh.
So that's going to be cool.
That's a cool
Yeah.
stat.
Okay.
So that's going to be cool. Yeah, brother. But the Bulls, okay, you said you didn't expect them to lose, nor did I, but I was kind of like, but first off, I was like, another URC South African performance where it's like we scrape it, last 10 minutes, something cool happens, and then it's like, okay. That's how it's sort of been, it's been very up and down, etc. But the way they controlled it in the end, and they kind of like, through attack, suffocated Edinburgh. And that was really cool. I enjoyed that. And I thought the final result was very convincing. The control they had in the second half was good.
Yeah, they came back.
Yeah.
They came back.
They scored a try in rubbish time, bro. The game was out of hand, out of like reach.
Yeah, it's
and literally
done.
that's when Edinburgh scored. So I
could see
I
that.
literally agree with you in terms of like controlling the game, bro.
Edinburgh, you could see, I don't know, but I mean, I'm not going to speak as if I was on the field, but you could see they kind of, by the 60th,
They
60th,
pulled
they
off.
ejected. I get it,
It's like the Scottish team. I'm sorry to say this, but it's like the Scottish national team. First 45, 55 minutes, they're there, and then after that, it's done.
Listen,
It's done, literally. They don't have the engine to take them beyond the 60.
Well, we're going to find that out today against Leinster.
yeah, I won't go there.
Yeah.
If Leinster smoke Glasgow, then I agree with you. But for me personally, I won't say that because I know like the pride of Scotland in rugby as a country, bro. When they play England, Calcutta Cup, I just hate the fact that they don't have enough depth sometimes.
That's the problem. That's what I was
If you're going up against the Bulls, you need a full squad, bro. They've got Boks at every second or third position, bro.
Chief.
And Jake is loading up some more.
What I always say.
Curtly is done with
Japan.
What's
a club called?
It's fine. Japan, though.
I see it. I see it with
He's
the
done.
green.
I know it. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
still contracted with the Bulls.
Jan Serfontein is coming. Andre Pollard is coming.
Mooi.
Listen to that.
Mooi. But that's what we need because I'm sorry to say, but
Don't say sorry.
yeah.
Say it.
Remember I said to you we have 40 players and I actually show you a list because I made it. I have a list of all the players overseas.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, the starting 15 of overseas is basically a World Cup winning side. I think all the players overseas, if I made a starting 15, I generally have each of those players have lifted up the World Cup trophy.
Fuck, I couldn't even
yeah.
lie to you. Just imagine you go 9, 10, 11, fucking 5.
What a
Andre,
break.
Curtly
Hurricanes.
I'm gonna stop. Ooh, Tom Bright.
Ranse van Rensburg, he won at Bordeaux. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
on the bench, but he lifted up a trophy.
Big boy.
He's a big boy. Yeah. Thick man there.
So
Thick man.
But boys, I fully agree with you in terms of like that team overseas, the overseas-based Springboks could probably beat the. Maybe it would be a tough game. Beat the local-based Springboks. Imagine that was to happen.
Well, it's
Well,
gonna
look
be
at the
experience
Sharks.
It's going to be experience versus talent.
Can I say this? Look at the Sharks.
But that's technically that is, and I hate saying this.
They're the Springboks, bro.
Like Andre is the backup. I'm
DBA.
like the backup, like more monsters. But I think it's just fussy now.
Listen, Dan. I get what you say.
No,
Yeah. But he's injured.
But going on what you said that the international box can beat our local box, and you said, wait a bit. They can. Look at the Sharks, bro. Like the Springbok call-up, the 54-man squad. From the Sharks, they took 15 players.
Bulls 9 players.
You understand?
Really, they took 15 players from the Sharks.
Yeah. Seven forwards, and then
Sense, bro, because think about it,
I think 8
the
backs or
debutants
something like
as
that.
well, like
I don't know how my maths is.
Your hookers, those kind of guys, they took them as well.
Yeah, so he took Vincent. I'm glad he took
Kunu
Vincent.
as well.
Chituka's there, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
No
we
good
might
to
get
the
chowed, boys. We might get chowed.
But
so
man, Bulls. I think Bulls just need to lock in this weekend. And I'm a Sharks fan. I'm not gonna lie.
Shocky
for life. Okes,
Yes.
those are my boys.
I'm
Bomb
only
them,
boys because I'm in Joburg. But yeah.
Griquas, Bulldogs.
GWK, Griquas.
These men have never even been to Bulls.
Ballons. I don't know what you call it, bro.
But I think
EP Elephants.
that's a horrible name as well. They should just kept them as
Southern
EP
Kings was nah.
No, they've always been elephants.
Enjoyed Southern
Even in the
Kings.
80s,
Yeah, but
whatever, bro.
sometimes change is good, bro. It's not a bad thing.
The Southern Kings, that was nice.
Yeah, we don't have to have every rugby team named after the Big Five, bro.
Honestly.
the Buffaloes.
What the hell? The Rhinos next. Fuck, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But I just think, man, Bulls focus up this time. And you were saying Bulls suffocated Edinburgh with attack, bro. I feel sorry for boys like Emrose Papir, who's been playing this season, bro.
But they're talking
And
about
someone
him.
to
He's a subject.
That was a
Are
big.
we saying for this? Are we saying
Yes.
he's a subject.
We'll get, but he's a subject.
Can I
Yeah.
to on the Bulls? What's happening to Mbilo Kumete, dog?
Olimpilo's in a tough position.
What's happening? Because is he injured? Or
No,
or what?
I don't think he's injured, but bro, who are you going to take out? Pepsi, who's also
No,
fighting.
I'm talking about the Bulls now. The Bulls setup.
Anakom.
No. I get it, but he can be second fiddle to Hanekom, but he's not there. He's not in the match.
Marcel.
And Alra? Mr. Lowe.
When Elrach is healthy, it's tough for him, bro. I'll tell you.
But
dog.
Kumete, Jen.
Kumeta is soft, bro, but
Kumete,
sometimes
yes.
vying to the Bulls is not the right decision for you. I'm
True.
telling you now, bro.
Look at
It is.
Wandy.
And I'm telling you, if you could vie somewhere, maybe, hey, not Sharks. If he vies Western Province, maybe. Or he decides to say, no, let me vie to
Go
the
to
Lions.
go to Lius.
You play the best rugby there. Sorry, but they've been playing the best rugby.
Cash in or cash out?
Win or lose, yeah.
Cash in or cash out?
What do you mean?
Cash in or cash must go
Ivan,
out?
cash out, bro. All day. I've
Cash
been
out.
saying this.
Yeah.
Bro, he's a physio coach. No, it's literally.
Ivan.
Cash
Bro,
in or
wait.
cash out?
Bro, Ivan is a physio by
Cash
trade. I say,
Cash in.
Cash in.
He's played the most exciting rugby.
Where are they? For 4 years, they haven't touched
But they're academy
knockout.
for everyone else.
but every single season, they start off on top.
What's
and
his
then it just-
KPI? What's his KPI? And they're losing all the best players, bro. Van der Merwe, 8th. Nohamba, gone. The URC Player of the Year.
Producing.
Chief.
Producing.
If the Lions are now by Bizanlianto, La Masia, Academy, tell me now.
Are they the La Masia? Because Cheetahs are supposed to be the La Masia of SA Rugby, because that's where they produce. Because look at Ntutugo. I mean, not Ntutugo, Ntogozo. He's going to play his first fucking professional rugby game.
Yeah, that's fucking
for the Springboks.
Not
playing
this year.
Yeah, he's going to play against the Barbarians or Georgia.
He's going to play.
Definitely.
He's going to play against Oz.
For real?
He's going to play against Oz. Let's not.
No.
I'm telling you.
You guys think Makaza's going to play? With the scrum camp?
He's gonna bench Cheslin and Kele.
Yeah, but don't say he's going to bench them. He's going to get a chance. He's not benching Cheslin.
Yeah, but
relax.
Can we be realistic? Barbarians or Georgia? Or the first game against Italy? But hey, gents, we going off.
Because it's nice times, bro. It's fine.
But I hear you. But me, I'm just saying that the Lions, Jon Ackerman, go Mace too, bro. Please.
Yeah, but Johan needs to start looking at getting into the green and gold situation.
He must start there.
I had him for one day at Investec Rugby Academy, and he's one of the coolest legs ever. Remember me? I couldn't jump at school, bro. I was not that guy.
You look heavy, bro. You couldn't lift me up in the air, dog.
And then when I told him I'm lock, he looked at me. He's like, "You look, you're slutty." But he's a lovely guy, and he's just so. I mean, he's just so with it. I can't explain it. And I mean, I'm only speaking from a couple of hours with the guy, but you can just understand the impact this man will have in a side.
Exactly.
But with the Lions, he did great things. But if you look at what Ivan has done, I mean, come on, bro. Players are constantly being bought out. You've got Jordan, he leaves. Edvald's going to leave, but we're not speaking that because he played this season. You'll see Kieran Horn will go soon. JC Pretorius will go soon. Frankie Horn's going to go.
That Jazz will go, 100%. That Jazz will go to France,
how do you pronounce it?
Asenati.
Saints boy. Remember,
he's massive. I've seen him in person.
But he hurt Oaks in high school as well.
Did you play against him? No,
he was way too young for us, dog.
Oh, okay. No, just checking. Just checking.
He's great. I enjoy him. But you'll see, they've been in chat sort of with him to go overseas.
He mustn't go to France.
You'll see, like we bring in the numbers, but they only stand for so long. And also, as soon as they start to get an idea or a feel for the game, adios, brother. And I mean, and if you actually just go watch the game, for me, the Lions played the most exciting rugby.
It's sexy rugby.
They tried. It's kind of like reminding me, I'm not trying to be rude, but it reminds you of Kes now this year with all the injuries. You go and you watch the boys, you see a lot of the second team players really stepping up to try play first team level. You can see it here. But that's what I'm saying. The Lions just, unfortunately, there's just... This
Chile.
Chankwas talk. Hey, boys, let's not forget about the most exciting quarterfinal because, Sharks versus Munster. Guys, I don't know when was the last time I saw a kickoff.
Do not wink. Do you understand me?
Can I say something? I was making lasagna that day from start to finish.
Lasagna?
Yeah. I'm a cook.
Hey, here we go.
It's cooking for the missus, you understand?
Of course. Was that a selfless, shameless plug?
Yeah. So, man, fuck that game. Everything you need in a knockout game.
Just Alice. Sharks, can you keep your fucking ball in hand and play the phases, bro?
Can I say something?
Play the phases.
The amount of balls dropped.
I don't need to say anything in this thing.
Like, balls dropped, keep the ball in hand, 50-50 passes that you didn't need, making sure you fucking catch the ball, the throw-ins, like, guys.
And the tackling, they were hard. But then again, it gave us a highlight reel when Sasuka gave that to fucking Ethan, and Ethan just tuned fucking wind in the hair, here I come.
And
that was basically saying, I'm coming for you. Oh.
That is a player. That is a 13.
Westville boy, huh?
Hey! But Westville boys are hard, dog.
No.
Right. That fucking Clayfield, dog.
Yeah.
But
Marisburg.
Westville boy,
Marisburg was the hardest.
I think they're the cheese boys of KZN, but they're
Hilton. No, it's not Hilton.
Well, man, Hilton and those boys, that's a Michael House, different league.
They're
the ones we played against. Those ones would play them on a Wednesday, probably.
Yeah. Of course.
But I think that fucking Sharks Munster game, bro, and fucking Hendrickson, then Rassi also posted Hendrickson.
He was in the car. He did have... Guys, he did have a proper cramp. You can't see a fucking calf have
the entire calf muscle, bro.
It looked sore. Bro.
Exactly.
Yes, dude.
I felt it.
Everyone felt it. But the thing is, guys, it's gamesmanship.
100%.
It's one of those that I'll be cheeky. And guys, please,
He knew
people
what
are
he was doing. He knew
people
what
are
he was
forgetting that
fucking
he's a 9. He's a 9. So
yeah,
But Buckies would do that. Buckies would.
Exactly.
Bucky's would just headbutt you, dog.
shout out
Yeah, well,
to
Crowley wouldn't talk to his medic like that. I promise you now.
100%.
No, but for me, sorry, I see. But number one, as soon as it happened, I'm like, yeah, here comes
There we go.
Here comes Safarkak. And we all knew. And then I checked the staff come on, and even no one turns around to look at Crowley. And you check Crowley's like,
He's just chilling. Like, I'll kick it. The ref is like, no.
cricket. And they knew exactly what was going on. Did it affect his kick? Maybe mentally and emotionally afterwards.
But he got it over. That's
Maybe
the
not
thing.
him.
I don't know, but he didn't miss the first penalty he had in front of the poles. If he got that, we would have never been having this conversation.
Listen, like
know
you
that's
said,
a harsh way to put it.
I think it was 100% justified. He didn't do anything wrong in terms of the gamesmanship. Did it affect Crowley? Probably not.
Nothing.
But his entire team, when they saw Crowley get riled up, saying, hey,
Everyone was riled
chirping and all
up.
of that, that is a kickoff, bro. Any small thing can sway the concentration of
Absolutely.
your teammate. So it's just
But,
like,
but
hey.
how did you take on the retaliation of?
Nah,
think it's
stupid.
too much, bro.
Yeah, I've got to say
uncalled
this.
for.
Yeah, I've got to say,
uncalled for.
even against that game against Argentina when he got hit
I
a
need
bit
the
high
bathroom.
and he
I'm coming
went
back.
off a bit crazy. I just got to say, I know when Willie, sometimes Willie like he always checks the ref out like, what going on, chum? But no one. I just hope that I never get to see someone who's represented us in the green and gold carry on a rugby field like that.
Nah, 100%.
Just take it on the chin. Be humble. You know you can land that kick. The only thing is, in ignorance, let's bear in mind, Munster were losing. They were away from home. It is a heartbreaking time. It's harsh, bro. Like that's crunch time, and you're sitting there, and it's all in your head. Thousands are watching you.
Munster was leading that game for how long, bro? Like we've been fucking saying. Sharks were trying to run over every
And they
single
didn't
player.
look like they were going to get it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
They didn't look like they were going to get it right.
Bro, if there's one team for me which I hate supporting in rugby, is the fucking Sharks, because they've gotten it wrong so many times, but then they have those moments of brilliance.
Yes.
Like the Challenge Cup last year where flippin' Sia Masugu was just caning off the tee, bro.
I agree with you.
Broke the stereotype.
Yes.
So that kind of stuff just hurts me. But brother, in terms of semi-finals, you said Glasgow's going to beat Leinster.
Glasgow.
I think Leinster's going to win by like 3 to 5.
Okay.
Bulls versus Sharks.
Now that Goetze's back, and the Sharks have lost Jenkins and Irvin, I said Sharks. I want it to be Sharks because you've got a lot of World Cup winners in there. So I'm backing that mentality. I'm backing that experience and that way of handling pressure. Die Bulle is die Bulle, bro. Die Bulle is die Bulle, Joe.
Blow ball.
But I'm going with Sharks, yes. Sharks by 3.
I even wrote a quote here. My mind is telling me no,
But my body
is telling me yes. So Sharks.
nah, guys.
I'm lying. The Bulls are going to win. Fuck the Sharks.
Can they surprise me?
Yes, wait.
What?
Did you wash your hands?
Yes.
You know what I just thought now?
Yeah.
The Sharks against Munster, like I said, did I say it to you before? It was like, okay, forget the skill, but I'm coming for you, chum. And
Exactly.
they did it all day.
Slant.
Now you want to go do that
Against the Bulls.
against the Bulls. So if
And
you want to
Loftus.
do that,
And Loftus.
you need to make sure that those fumbles you made against Munster, where you had a perfect opportunity to either hold the ball, sustain it, and let everyone else use momentum, keep the ball in hand, build up some phases, tire the Oaks out. They want to try a special offload. If you're going to do that against the Bulls, you're going to die.
Can I say something? All those balls that they lost forward, those equated to what? Scrums. Fortunately for the Sharks, the scrums were proper. But now, you're going to scrum against the Bulls. Vulko low. That guy's thigh
Hendrik
is
Wessels.
someone's torso.
That is a big man.
His
Volker,
thigh.
that is a big man.
He's one thigh.
That is a really
torso.
big human being.
You always get that big Maori
Yeah.
prop? Well, here's
Vulko.
Vulko, bro.
Vulko.
Yeah, so, and I agree. Even that cross-cover.
What's his nickname?
I don't know.
Easter Bull, I don't know.
Chief Vulko is enough for him, bro.
I can call him a Vidbuller, eh? but not Afis.
10 kilogram T-bone.
But nah,
I'm searching for his nickname.
I think we can get to the flipping topic which we've been wanting to talk about. We're wearing the shirt anyways. Springbok squad announcement, 54 players. Dr. Rassie Erasmus, mind games all over again.
No disrespect to who wasn't chosen, but boy, when I look at that setup, I'm like, Rassie, you've gone for the best of the best, my friend.
Thank you.
There's no nonsense there. There's no this. There's no quota la or this there. That is the Boks side that we can look to build on.
That is a scary squad.
Bro, no, scary. Scary. And
Folks, that's almost 4 teams. Put that into context.
Yeah, that's. I won't say 4.
60 players is 4 teams, bro.
Okay, let me just say this. It's 3
Augustus.
international team days. So 23, 23, 23.
fair enough.
And you can mix with the bench. You can have a new starting 15 for each game.
And that's what's going to happen. And he's going to tell them, same thing. Gents, these are the players who are going to play against the All Blacks. I know gents are going to be sad, but these are the guys we trust. The most experienced can handle that.
But
whoever shines like Sasha did last year, you can break through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rassie's always talking about how the boys are sad when he's always talking about understanding that this is I mean, could I say it like this? Like, I don't want a word for him, but kind of like saying like,
Praat me, bro.
you're not
Bigger than the team.
Yeah, like Springboks come first.
Thank you.
The Springboks come first. And yes, we've got so many players who could have
Bruce bench Malcolm Marks.
Yeah, but yeah, the Marks is you want a Jackler to come on when Okes are tired.
I want Marks to start as well.
Yeah, I know, but I'd rather Bongi start, hurt it up, roughage that up, and then come second half. If you're just a little bit
Him
off,
and Kwacha.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a Minnesota.
oh, guys.
No, it is.
Him and Kwacha.
He has just a question for you guys.
Go for it.
Is basically, if you guys think of this, okay, Rassie, you remember he would have Okes here for Aussies, and then you would send the boys
New Zealand squad.
Half and
Okay,
off. Yeah.
yes. So now we've planned to go to the match and everything. I know it's at the end of the month, and then I think it's at.
Are you going to the Italy game?
Bluffies probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sharp.
I'll see how tickets go. It just depends on.
They're
where.
going crazy, bro. I'm gonna
No, we're going to be. We're holding it in. Also, I'm going to have a crazy.
How's he going to do that split? Because if Oz at the moment, as we're seeing in the background with the club rugby going on at the moment, Oz have really stepped it up in terms of that aspect. Number 2 last year, that game against England, wow. Ireland, they gave a run.
Scotland, they gave her.
They gave,
They got blown out in the air.
Yeah, they did. But now they're going up against the Lions. And what if, just
British
by
and
what
Irish
if,
Lions, yep.
Aussies are actually looking hot. And now it's like if you're going to decide to leave, I mean, we need to think of a word for it, but the B squad or whatever, to play at Ellis against Oz, how are you going to split that team? Because I would assume he'd want to send some Okes over.
But you know what's the nice thing with that, Dan? Now, this whole, you play 2 matches in that country, you play 2 matches at home, then you split it.
Yeah.
The nice thing is the gents will go probably to New Zealand for those 2 weeks, then they'll have a week off, be able to come to South Africa. I don't know how he'll split it, but since we're playing both Oz games in South Africa, it makes it a little bit better. But I hear you in terms of, if you're saying I'm going to send my heavy hitters to New Zealand because now it's a different ball game. Wallace Satiti is coming for us now.
Yeah.
Jody Barrett is done with his sabbatical.
What's that? Karifi Duplessis.
Duplessis Karifi with his
Low
calves,
max.
with his quads like this.
I was just checking, not that I was on my phone to check my
12.
messages. The last game we're playing against Australia is going to be in Cape Town. It's on the 23rd of August. And then the big game at Eden Park is on the 6th of September. So that's a 2-week layoff.
Yes.
And what they can do is, if Ellis Park goes right, he can say, okay, boys, Axe, Yemot, White Cloud do.
Yes.
And then these players
White
stay, do what you have to do, and then take a number of them over. And then these ones rest. Obviously, they won't meet in New Zealand. They'll Hawks to Argentina. But the most important game for the Springboks this year, they've got 3. First one, I don't care if they lose the other 2. If we can beat New Zealand at Eden Park and break that 30-year record Boys,
What?
it's done.
My man,
It's done.
Not to
I want more.
88 record for the Springboks, bro. 88 years. We haven't beaten them since 1937.
Who was alive in 1937? No one.
Chief, it was even before World War II, I think.
Oh, no, it was
I think
the
my
first year of the
my
Second World
grandpa
War.
was in his dad's boat
1939
at
to
that
45?
time, bro.
Was-
35.
Oh,
It was like a 10-year, I don't know, but yeah. I used to be a history teacher, but now ish.
Yeah, but you're right. Eden, very important. And also the other thing is, if you bear in mind, this is our next shot at having a back-to-back, for the first time, a back-to-back rugby championship.
Oh, wow.
So imagine we can take Eden and the back-to-back. But at the same time, which one would you rather have? The back-to-back or Eden?
Eden.
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah.
30 years.
guys, I'm a perennial winner, hey? But I think
30 years,
agree,
boys.
I agree with you.
I must be honest.
So who's going to win it? New
I'm so
Zealand,
used
even
to
if-
seeing them New Zealand lift up that trophy. It's like, you know.
Fair enough.
But if we beat them at Eden and Aussie's playing good rugby, it could be Aussie that lifts up the
Nah,
trophy.
relax, New Zealand will win. Relax.
They've also got some great players.
The
coming
Aussies, I'll say one thing about the Aussies. They'll be, after the British and Irish Lions game, they'll be hammered, bro. Like, their bodies will be sore. I'll tell you that. They might win one. Please surprise us. But
like this last one.
Wait,
Yeah.
I don't want us to touch that. I see, let's hold it there, then we're going to come back to that one now.
okay, I will.
Lions, yeah.
All right, boys.
Alala.
So,
That's it.
British and Irish Lions tours, I should call them. Tour to Australia is coming up later this month in June. I think they start June 20th against the
RG.
RG Bargies.
Right.
It's a nice one.
Right.
At least they're including them.
Exposure to rugby.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's kind of crazy, but it's true. Gents, I must say, I think the British and Irish Lions tour outside of the World Cup is probably the biggest spectacle in rugby. And I've seen it from a South African's perspective. We will leave that 2021 chat alone because it still hurts us.
I mean,
And
it
think
hurts
we've
me till
mentioned
this day,
it
bro.
on every rugby episode.
Dog, you know we had tickets.
I did too.
We had tickets to F&B, dog.
Bro.
Yo.
2009, as they call it, was the most brutal test match in history.
They still talk about it now.
See that?
This
That's
one
all.
here. Nice titties. Thanks.
But it's a full-on tour, bruh. Fucking 10 matches. They play against all the flipping unions. They play against the Aussies.
Anzac. We got that.
Anzac.
Yeah.
And they also have a Legends game, bro, where the Legends of Australia are going to play the British.
And the Aborigines, yeah?
That's
the
Anzac.
Legends.
That's the
Oh,
Anzac.
Anzac.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
apologies.
excuse me. Yeah.
But the squad announcement. Andy Farrell.
The Zions.
The Zions.
Nah, I'm teasing.
He's going to say. But Andy Farrell launched the solid squad, boys.
Yes,
but in terms of the Zions,
The Zions.
I'll let you go, sir.
Hey, yo.
What you want to say?
Thank you.
Halala.
No. Well, I mean, obviously, I say it as like a bit of a tease. It's no disrespect because I saw a video with Tuitu Lotu. Yeah, and I saw one with Duan. Like, you know, in their world, this is like a massive call up to them, and it's an
It's
honor
their
for
World
them.
Cup because they can't win anything in the Northern.
You said not
Josh,
me, brother.
boy.
Hot take number
Slow
2.
down,
No,
Son of the soil or the son of the Pranas?
he had the first hot take. I had the second hot take.
Nah, I hear you. So for me, it's like, I get it. Like, it means a lot to them and stuff like that. But the reason why I make this a subject is because when I got introduced to Lions in 2009, that was raw fucking
Rugby.
Northern Hemisphere Lion selection.
Ronan Agara with that.
Rowan Agara, in my opinion, is the reason why. Obviously, they lost the second test because he did the up and under when he
And
should have
then
held
he
it.
fucking moved. Yeah.
Tackled in the air.
Yeah, for real.
Mornay
Something.
Steyn.
Yes. And then come the second fucking test match, Peter de Villiers goes, all right, well, we've won the series. Let's send our B team to play the fucking Lions at Ellis. And we get pumped like 35-17. That was, see, I was infuriated at that.
No, but it was okay. I got it, but can I say something? At that time, because P. de Villiers was a character of note. And
I just like to say.
it's not tutus here. We're not playing ballet. It's rugby. You understand? So he was like, my KPI, I've reached it. I'd want to go up, but can I reward my players for believing in me? Because in essence, yes, he did take a great team from Jake White, but dog, he elevated it, bro. In 2009, we won. We took out everything.
I just wish we beat
Alles,
France
we
that year.
peaked too
I wish
early.
we beat France that year.
We peaked in 2009, that year. When they went to 2011,
No, it was
obviously
the ref.
Bryce Lawrence.
Nah, it was the ref, bro.
Boys, we
It was
peaked
the ref.
too early.
No, it was the
Lions.
ref. But we sticking on Lions, and Farrell, shout out. That's
He's
a proper
great
squad.
coach. Yeah.
That's a proper squad. What I'd like to see Australia literally talk their talk. They have the squad. They can challenge us, because right now, literally, Australia are the underdogs. I don't care what you're saying.
They're the underdogs of the Southern Hemisphere, my friend. Well,
Hot take
working on last year's rugby championship,
They were nowhere.
were they lost?
They were lost.
They were nowhere. Wooden spoon, Baba.
Yeah, you see. And I mean, like, it's always great for Argentina. I mean, shout out to them. Last year's, I mean, they had one on the All Blacks. They had one on us.
beat all of us.
Dude,
They beat all of us.
that's what we like to see. But just not the way we played. But where was I going with this? With regards to Australia, like, I agree.
underdogs, yeah.
But even the last Lions tour they had in 2017, no, 13.
13,
You
12,
remember
yeah.
Curtly Beale missed that one kick, and that was the series decider. Because it was
done.
wasn't not 1-1, and then
was
Curtly Beale
1-1.
missed
It
that
was
kick.
1-1
He
and
shanked
then-
it a bit, and then even
John
Wolgenia,
Davies had the game of
Wolgenia
his
was
life.
like, it was one of the worst. It's his biggest regret is not winning that Lions series. It's
Exactly.
for Wolgenia.
But
So actually, sorry to take it away. On top of that subject where you said it's the most important, except the World Cup.
Yeah.
I agree in terms of also when you look at the show up of the British fans.
Gee.
Bro,
It's Roy.
Wow.
Bro, it's just red.
Do you actually remember seeing that for the first time in 2009? I was like, it's intimidating.
Can
It's
I-
like, what are you doing here? But it's like, this is cool, enjoy.
Can I cut in before you go in? My first exposure to rugby was 2002 at the Centenary Festival, because my uncle was at KES.
just
And then
Lost to Jeppy that year.
I don't remember. No, but I was a kid. I was like 5 or 6,
We lost to Jeppy
if I
that
remember
year.
correctly. That's the first time, and that's the only time there was a huddle around the field, Reds Field, and they did the war cry there. That was my first
Oh,
connection.
there's
of
that
rugby.
photo, yes.
I still remember that.
Yeah.
And then 07 rugby.
that was me.
And then British and Irish Lions. They're playing at Ellis Park. I don't live far from Ellis Park. And I remember just seeing, because we had a bar close to us, it was just red, bro. And I'm like, who are these Balis? Because I'm used to worms in the Springbok gear or Lions gear who used to come.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
It was just red at Ellis Park, bro. I live like 5 clicks.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
2
of the
clicks.
walk down from your house and shit like that, or the cars and all of that. But that must have been crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, there were sections that were actually all red.
Exactly.
But
It was
how did they?
fucking crazy. And sorry, I just want to get to my point that British and Irish Lions rugby, gents. From there, I was like, can I say something? In 2010, I was head boy at primary school.
Oh, God.
I got an offer. I got an offer at Parktown Boys. They're like, we'll pay 50% of your school fees, and you pay 50. I was like, no, I'm going to KES because of the rugby. I'm not lying. Because of the rugby that was there.
Nepotism.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because who did I see score the tries? Habana. Who did I see playing proper? Your
Big Joe.
You understand?
Quickly, just so you do know, Big Joe, Malcolm Marks, Brian Abana have all been South African Players of the Year. Boom!
There we go.
That's some wild shit.
So
Yeah, brother.
that's what I'm saying about the British and Irish Lions tour, where I see the World Cup. I saw that thing live. I wasn't able to go to the stadium such as you, but I saw the gears outside the stadium, and I was like, what is this?
More Lions than African.
Literally. No, he's not lying.
Yeah, no, it was.
He's not
More
lying.
lines in the cricket national.
Yeah,
Exactly. There by Shell Garage, I'm like, "Hey, banna, what can I so?"
Because-
I'm hearing more English than Afrikaans, and I'm like, oh, where am I?
All sorts of dialects
And
of
even
English as well.
when you remember you said you booked tickets to the game. So, you know, I would assume that the way you book for it,
It was a ballot system.
that's what they have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 100%.
we
Otherwise, they're
got
gonna buy it.
through.
They're going to sell out the stadium. It'll be red everywhere.
Box.
We got nosebleeds. Sorry, I'm going off, bro. We got nosebleeds for the F&B game in 2021. We bought these peak COVID, and we're like, we are going. Dog, we were students. We had nothing, but we didn't mind. We're like 750. 750.
We will make a plan for that.
We made a plan, and we were in. I was like, gents, I'm
All
in.
the boys were
I'm
ready to
taking
rock and roll.
all my bursary money. I'm buying these tickets, you guys will pay me. And they pay me back.
Just say you passed as well so that you didn't.
Oh, dog, I'm working now. No.
100%. Pella, we must make sure. Hey.
I didn't get a bursary for nothing. I also don't know how I got that bursary, but hey, man.
But just quickly on the topic of the Lions, we were chatting about Bobby mentioning France.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I understand the whole tour to the southern
Skin
Yes. And I completely fuck with the fact of like it's a southern hemisphere tour, yes. But I mean, I'm not going to say like just due to history of France and Britain, but also in terms of where France stand at the moment with their game. They could definitely bring the heat and they can win a series against the British and Irish Lions right now. A three-way series with the British, for instance. But I mean, even like if you can start to, we start to see the Lions outside of the tours start doing a France and Argentina, Georgia, and a Barbarians. Even though I think they did a Barbarians, they did do a Barbarians years ago. But look, you might see a couple of spankings and stuff like that. But it's good for the game. I want to see that.
You know what I think it will be, bro? I think it needs to be one of those sporadic things. And I said that last time, and Oaks laughed actually, and I said, the history of rugby is in the past. So the similar way to how the Boks used to tour New Zealand, full on tour, bro.
Oh,
yes.
Play
what's coming up
the
next
Union
year.
sides, play the All Blacks, full on tour, and it happens every single 4 years. Then New Zealand reciprocate. That is one of the craziest shit. How you find space in the calendar is not my job. I don't work for Saudi.
We're not an admin, bro.
Yeah.
But you do that kind of stuff, bro.
You're growing
And
rugby
throw in a
again.
young Lions versus Barbarians. The Lions are going to play, like you say, in Argentina right now.
Yeah.
And then they play Georgia or whatever. You can all play a one-off test match.
Exactly. I'm
France.
saying you go from a weekend to weekend instead of focusing on, you take a lot of the numbers up. A lot of their games are warmed up in the club rugby phases. But
And those are still important, but I understand what you're saying.
Yes, but you start to, like I say, okay, they maybe do one or two and you have like some Barbarians and then the French Barbarians and then you shift over to, or maybe even, let's say without the Barbarians, Portugal, Georgia. You start off like that because that's great for them too. That's great exposure. That's something that's going to get
also
them
how
out
the
of
game
bed.
grows,
Yeah,
bro.
they're going to get out
That's
of bed
how
and
you
be
bring
like,
game.
we playing the fucking British and Irish Lions. Like, I mean, come on.
That scrum is going to
It's
be
a
mental.
fucking
boy.
brand.
Yeah,
Georgian
yeah.
scrum.
Yeah, they're big boys, eh?
Yeah.
But just regards to that, it's like they could definitely do that. But I would love to see France and the British Irish Lions. I just do. I think that would be a very flary rugby, and that would probably be the best rugby you'll ever get in Northern Hemisphere.
Maybe that's the closest we'll get Antoine Dupont to the Southern Hemisphere, but that's another chat.
Let's go.
But listen, man, British and Irish Lions tour this year. It's fucking amazing. Not gonna go. I know we said we would go like last year, but hey, man, you must understand we split
Sorry,
our
cheese,
priorities over here, and it's because of one reason, and I'm leading to it beautifully. Fucking Springboks prices for the home games. Okay, allow my
I
cash.
bought a ticket, grandstand to the Barbarians, 3K. Thanks for coming.
For how many people?
It's 2 people, 6K.
So
3K, he said for him.
only you.
Me,
Barbarians.
3K
yes.
for a Barbarians game.
Yeah, brother.
That's a friendly game.
And, but yes, finish up.
Oaks. Okay, now listen to me. And me, unfortunately, my mind works in steps and numbers. Take the numbers. If an average ticket for the Boks costs about 700 to 800 at Ellis Park, which is very, very likely, considering how much the suites are, which are in the thousands, 3, 4, 5,000. Those people are caning close to 50M just on ticket sales.
Let's not talk big numbers. Let's start here. I want us to start here. See, this is one area that fucking grates my balls. I'll put these two in perspective so people understand. Number one, they're the world champions, double World Cup champions.
100%.
Good.
The brand is hot.
Very hot. The demand is high. Good. Those are the two that I can give it to them. Gents.
We covered our losses this year for last year as well.
You understand?
100M profit,
Yeah.
90M profit.
Yeah. We are the team of the people, bro. Team of the
We are
people.
going
There
well
is no national team in South Africa right now that fucking unites us like the Boks. The Bafana Bafana is only coming up now. The cricket is here and there. They're gonna play
World Test Championship.
the championship at Lords soon. But
And we
the
are
Boks,
the best test team.
you understand? But the Boks are something else, bro. The Boks,
No.
Etzebeth has a new name because of how a kid that can't that didn't know his name prior to that, but knew that if they give the ball to that man, he's not stopping. When he said Ningambambi, don't hold him. Elizabeth, gone. That's something else.
Yes.
And for a person or a kid in his element to afford a ticket, or a dad to be like, yo, you love this game so much, let me take you there. You understand? And let's see you watch your hero. You'll be taxed out. Or your middle class family. I'll put us in perspective, the boys. The first Springbok rugby game that I watched live, that I paid for myself, was the France versus South Africa game when they were here in 2016 or 17. I paid
when Quinny fucking went ape.
Exactly, but at Ellis Park I paid 150 for nosebleeds. Okay, fast forward.
England 2018.
England 2018. We paid 150 to 200. Same nosebleeds.
Yeah.
We're moving on now. We watched
All Blacks versus someone, or
All Blacks versus
Boks.
Springboks, Ellis Park.
When was this?
2022 or 2023.
How much was
It was 250.
250 rand.
Yeah, for the nosebleeds, for everyone. I remember I paid 250.
What's a nosebleed?
There in the corner, E60. I even know where it is because I go to Ellis Park so many times. You understand?
Yeah.
Then last year, to watch Springboks versus Ireland in Kings Park, it was 500. Those nosebleeds, but we could see the game very nice. 500. Now, you're saying you paid how much for a Barbarians ticket?
3K.
3K
Grandstand.
For a Barbarians ticket.
Yeah.
Italy. Let me put this in perspective.
Before you carry, Argentina last year 1-5, opposite of the grandstands.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
Good. Right now, the semi-final between the Bulls and the Sharks are playing. Behind the posts, it's 100 rand for a ticket. Against Italy, Springboks against Italy right now, the cheapest ticket is 1,050 rand behind the posts.
Ellis Park.
Wait, really? Against Italy?
Yeah.
But last year Mbumbela was 1-5.
Thank you. For?
Argentina. And it was a game decider, and if the Boks won, you got to watch them lift up the fucking trophy.
Exactly. But behind the post at Loftus, against Italy, it's 1,050 rand.
And by the tunnel? Because that's
By the tunnel, that's I'm sure like 3,2.
That doesn't make sense because
And then I understand the demand, but guys, no.
No, I agree with you because
they're taking the piss, bro.
I mean,
they're taking
with the Barbarians, we took a risk. I won't forget, and it seems like it's sort of falling into place. But I said to my old man, I said, okay, never mind the fact of traveling to Cape Town, etc. Now I'm booking out hotels from Thursday to Sunday.
And it's Cape Town, guys.
And how much is the pricing going up for?
It's going to be a 20 grand Springbok game. So
listen to that.
So the only thing that we gambled it on was, okay, Sam is going to go, all right, New Zealand's going to be playing in France. That squad will be there. But we still got some vets. And we still got the players playing in Japan. So I said, okay, let's bank on the Richies getting selected. Let's bank on, I wasn't thinking Conor Murray or Peter at that time.
So you're saying decent players are going to come down?
Yes, I knew Frizzell. I promise you I said Frizzell.
No.
All right, I said
Mwanga.
I've said Mwanga, and now I'm saying Brody, but he needs the Oaks to rest. But time's also ticking. I think we're on the 6th of June today, so we've got just over 3 weeks until the kickoff. But yeah, basically that's what we banked on, and even so, like a Barbarians game for 3K, I'm like,
it's a
yes,
friendly
they've
game.
never ever come to SA, and they might not ever. I get it, and still I've got to go there, and still we're going to pay another 2 grand for a Barbarian shirt because that's still, you want to take the experience home. But just like for me, like 3K, and that time you spend 3K, and I'm not saying this away. I mean, shout out to all 40 of the boys. I love them all. I want to see all of them in the jersey. But, say it's not going to be like that. Like, you pay 3 grand to watch the All Blacks game, you're going to see the boys. You see the boys. So it's no disrespect to them, but it's like, what if we get like a bit of an off-cut side and it's like 3K and then we lose? It's like, hey.
Can I bring them after you're done?
Yeah. Last year, I took my girl to the All Blacks versus South Africa game at Ellis Park. I paid 700 rand for each ticket.
2.5 my dad I paid.
Thanks to him, Sanele. But
we plugged.
Time of my life. 700 rand for category A game. Not A tickets, category A game.
And your first 40 minutes, your Arsenal was like this. Don't you?
Exactly, like proper rugby game.
Yeah.
Now you're expecting me to pay 500 rand more or 400 rand more for an Italy game behind the posts. Who am I? Am I dumb?
And it's not even at Ellis, it's at Lofis.
No, I anywhere, dog.
But Ellis, we're speaking Ellis in terms of the historical.
Bro, flyovers. There was 2 flyovers.
Yes. I got my old man a ticket there. He went by himself. Bro, the smile he had on, he just kept sending me selfies, like his big smiles on his face.
I never stopped thanking this man.
Well done, Nduna.
It was our first date, bro. You know, it was our first date, and she'll never forget that. And hence now she's like, I want to go to the next Springbok rugby game. I'm like, babe, let's talk sense here. Me spending 2.5 for both of us to watch them. I get the gears. You got that gears, but just tickets. We need to travel there. We need to eat. We need to drink. The game ends at like 7. We still want to go out. We still have.
And drinking at a Boks game is hard because of the queues.
That's another thing.
But I've mastered that game.
No, don't worry. Don't give out.
And there's none of this.
Don't give out our secrets. But we have some heaters. We call it a heater.
Yeah, we all made a
Let me bring it
plan.
home.
But bring it home and cut it.
Listen, for me,
Because we can go on until tomorrow.
it fucking hurts that the Springboks. I still remember when the boys were watching the Boks when it was Blue Label Telecoms 2016, like Dan was saying, when it was 2017, just before Rassi came through. We beat France and we got smoked in Italy, Albany, all those test matches.
Everywhere.
I still remember those. I still remember in Rome when we lost.
Remember who bounced who on the try line? Remember that number 22?
Yeah, I forgot who they bounced, but that was like.
I remember
wasn't that Creole or the
I remember Bowden Bats behind the back pass to Nea Milner
that
Scudder,
one,
and
jeepers.
Grant Nisbet was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
Yeah.
Oaks, I still remember that the fans were still watching you guys. And the fact that certain fans are going to be priced out now.
We are being
sucks
priced
for me.
out. We are being priced out.
The way we were saying, this badge carries a lot of meaning in this country. It has united us beyond the game.
Yes.
And whether it's for those 3 hours that week or whatever, I don't care. It brings a sense of euphoria to the country to say, you know what, I want to be the best version of myself for this moment.
Teaches you appreciation, teaches you teamwork and diversity. It teaches you so much. Teaches you camaraderie.
Exactly,
That's what the
bro.
Boks have represented.
The fact now you are saying either people who are in middle class or upper middle class
It's upper
and
middle
corporates
class.
are the only people who can get these tickets is just wrong for me because of how much they have stood behind you. I will love the Boks until I flip and hit 6 feet underneath, 100% if they stand for the right reasons, which they are doing that now.
Yes.
But what they are doing now is wrong. It makes financial sense, I agree. Strike while the iron is hot, but you cannot price tickets in this way. Boks could have made more than enough money off their sponsorship, off ticket sales. What is the difference between 50 million and 45 million of ticket sales?
Bro,
Player's salary. At
That is the difference
annually.
between a kid who has never been to the stadium and you getting this extra
Would you
money.
also not say it's...
sorry to tell your comment,
Yeah.
Dan. I just thought about this now. Okay, you have maybe 2 sections where it's for the people, right? And then you can come up with fan parks, bro, where you price
Monty.
anywhere.
Boktown.
Boktown, yeah, you have Boktowns.
Yeah.
Entrance is 10 rand.
Yeah.
You can still make your money there. You understand? Like, I understand. Maybe they might have that for these games, but like, yo, guys.
I just think they took the
guys.
easy way out. Bro. They said we're going to price our tickets here. This is what we're selling them for. The demand is high, and we need to start making Springboks profitable.
I understand
That's what I think.
supply. We understand supply and demand, but hey,
Yeah, and someone was, I think, what was it? Our president he justified. He's like, listen, guys, we've really tried to cater for everybody. Maybe there's something we don't know, but maybe, you know, they are trying to build a bigger brand financially.
but it's also maybe also trying to keep our hot players in here.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was either thinking that, you know, other crowd management, because at the same time also you don't want your tickets too cheap and then you've got some rowdy.
It's never been too cheap.
Yeah, I hear you.
They've never been too cheap. It's not a Bafana game. It's not a Chiefs and Pirates game.
So it took Diaby.
Yeah, where Black Label's like $20, bro.
No, they're not. They're 40.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Really? Akskis.
Guys, W's expensive.
But
So
it's
then
the experience that we go to.
Jaiami's are spending there, bro.
No, we spend.
take you there one
We'll
day.
take you. You're gonna come to the
been
next
trying,
one.
yeah. I've been
No,
trying
we'll
to
take
take
you.
Yeah,
we'll
for
take
sure.
you. We'll take you.
But I've got to take some of my guys from work as well. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes, okay, I say this with Cape Town. keep it expensive. Keep those Cape Crusaders out of the stadium. We don't want you. Mfunu, brother. Mfunu.
Yeah, the Cape
Mfunu,
Crusader.
brother.
Yeah, I know. But yeah.
That's for us. That's for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
man.
the Crusaders out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But nah, man, guys, can I just say, we're on the box, and this one I'd like to keep a little bit short. Post Ricey, who do we see taking over? Because I think it's still a little bit early, but we know 2027 he's leaving as coach.
Did he guarantee that?
Yeah.
He said, "I'm done."
It's his last.
When did he say that?
Last
He
year, I
said
think,
it.
after the World Cup.
Yeah, somewhere there. He said it's his last
No,
rodeo.
20
He's like, he's done
then
everything.
He'll do the same thing. The
He'll be
director.
director
He will
of
never.
rugby,
He'll never.
but as coach, he said, "I'm
he'll be
done."
like a dog craven.
You
behind the
also get a
scenes.
cold sensation in your stomach when you say.
He's a madman.
Oh, man, he is.
Nah, it is. It's fucking sickening. bro.
That's like. I mean, he is. He's like a hero to me. And hey, if Varrock left South African rugby, what a day it would be for us.
Can I say something? Hand up. Brew, how was his book? Sorry to cut you off. Was it good?
Can I say something? Can I shake this man's hand?
Yeah, I didn't ask you to shake my hand. I just wanted to know how the book was done.
I'm an avid reader, but of proper stuff. I know. Nishaile, yeah. Nishaile, but thank you to this man. He, my birthday present, he bought me Rassi's book.
Where the fuck is mom?
His birthday is, don't worry, but yeah. And Rassi is a man who knows how to manage people. It's okay. As a former teacher, it's like making the class clowns class captains, because they'll know how to handle everyone and anyone in any situation.
Yeah.
And that's Rassi. That's how I can sum up that book for you. Go buy it, go read it. It's amazing. It shows you how he doesn't like Vinchats, but he wants a Vinchat that will take it for the team.
Because he's a Vinchat.
And Oke is going to back this. You want someone who's going to back
Exactly.
this. Just like now, this whole Jaden thing. I haven't seen one Bok. Even Jacques sitting there in his Leinster jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Say no.
basically saying, in other words,
they're backing him up because why? He was taking one for the team. He wasn't being a boost because he wants to be a boost for himself. He was being a boost for the team.
And look at it. We all got behind him. As soon as he said it, we're like, Jaden, we fucking love you, bro.
Exactly.
And now it's like,
show us that calf muscle.
Yes.
Fucking cramping.
And it was there. And to tie it up, how you were just asking about Rassi, that's him. And my top two, I won't lie, ne? Can they give Ustik Stogololo a club? Can they give him a club?
Rockets, continue.
Yeah. They can give. Can they give him a club
run
before he can step up to the green and gold? I'm not saying he's not ready. Can they run him in? You understand?
Even more under 20?
Or under 20, so that we see. But my top two, Johan or
Johan van Graan.
there we go. That's my top two.
No, you said Johan van Graan and Stick.
No, Johan van Graan and what's his name? Ackerman.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been
I'm
a
with
Ackerman
you.
fan, eh?
I'm with
I've
you.
always been Ackerman.
You know what would be
fan.
cool though? Just
He's the reason why I have a Lions jersey.
Ackerman, yeah. Bro.
He's the reason why I got a fucking Lions membership to go to every Lions game.
And it was so lacquer. Marks was in his team.
Oh, man.
We got to yes. But another thing I'd like to see is,
Lionel Mapu.
before I actually realize this, but Kevin Foot and Mzege, imagine those two coaching.
At the
But
box.
Zega's already at under 20, bro.
Kevin Foot was
the SA schools. No, it's also SA.
Yeah,
It's
Mzega was Lions
He's the
last
one
year.
that lost the final.
Yeah, I know that.
Unfortunately, Yeah. Oh.
But Nzega's in the system for like national coaches.
Yeah, he's big.
Yes, but then Kevin Foot's also a Kes boy. So I'm saying, just in
Oh,
terms-
kids episode. Let's go.
Yeah.
And they get to go to coach a case boy. Nebelele maybe.
Hey, number
if
one.
Marx is not there anymore.
Nah,
he'll probably
he'll
still
be
be
there.
there.
He'll be
Fuck,
there.
crazy vibes. Crazy.
Really? Sure.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yo,
for-
let's get them.
For me, I've got three. I don't know who they'll pick. No, fuck, bro. I've actually got four. This
Who's your
is
top
bad.
two? No.
No, I don't have two, bro. I've got four.
Choice.
Bro. You must
Three.
allow it.
I'm cutting. Three.
I want. No. I know. I want
Okay.
the current Dion Davids,
John Davis, head coach.
backline coach, assistant coach for the Boks, right?
Okay, yeah. But you want him as head.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Used to coach EP Kings.
I know.
EP Elephants. Very good rugby brain. Very, very good man manager. I want him to get a chance as a head coach where he gets his redemption on. I think he deserves that the way he has allowed the Springboks to play. And I think now, fucking gloved guy, I forget his name now, who's the backline coach for the Boks now, the New Zealand Kiwi guy.
Tony
Brown.
Tony Brown.
Ah. Oh, guys.
They've been like this perfect concoction for backline play and also allowing the Springboks physicality. So that's why I want Dion Davis there.
Okay.
If not him, John Dobbo.
Double. Okay.
Dobbo's good.
Okay.
Dobbo's good.
Dobson.
John Dobson.
Yeah.
Dobson is good.
Double. Yeah.
Okay, but this is the box we're talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
But don't start him out at this box.
Not saying it in a way of like he can't do it. I'm saying this.
He can.
No, I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying we're not talking about the Bokke. Yeah.
It's not anyone, yeah?
Then last man, I've got to say Stick, dog. Stick has been in the system. Stick finally, like I think the last.
And he got
World
hard done. He got done dirty by Alistair.
Yes,
Remember?
exactly.
And then
they were like, "Fuck, you can't coach the back line." Wada.
Yeah.
Rassie Erasmus comes through. What
Takes
fucking
it.
happens?
Yeah.
That shit wasn't just
and then
Rassie and Jacques.
Stick then
Stick was there.
encouraged Rassie to stick with Mapimpi. I mean, look at what
Yes,
we got out of that.
It's Boom Nkosi, 2019 World Cup semi-final against Wales,
Yo.
where Cheslin was stepping everyone, and he said, "You play this guy, you'll lose the whole team." It was a fucking tight game. I was watching it in my bed like this at rest, bro. I said, "Fuck, can't watch this." We
Yeah.
won.
I was
in
buying
Clarence.
groceries at Newton Junction Mall. I've never been fucking shaking in those pick and pay plastics. I'm like,
I was foreseeing a Northern Hemisphere final. I was like,
yeah.
"Ish." And then it's obviously
Lock times.
England. Yeah, England.
doing this.
Yeah, I don't want to see.
I'm
England.
sorry, I hate the English team. I hate the posh.
I think I hate the Irish
hate
more
them.
now, but I respect.
No.
I don't.
I respect the Irish.
I
but
buck off the
Poms.
French due to their fan base of them throwing out deaths in our face and all their reasons why they could be.
Allez, all that shit.
They're fine.
Look, what's it? Le Croca Chokers.
But Nam and Mailanis, I think with the box, we just have one more thing to cover. Incoming tour versus Georgia. With Italy, obviously, those are the two main test matches. Then also the boys vying to New Zealand, man.
What you saying?
Boys, what are you actually looking forward to in terms of the 2025 test match season for the Boks? Like up until, let's cap it up until the New Zealand test matches. What's like your one thing? See them at the Barbers, first time ever. Playing Italy at home. We can finally see a full-on test match against Italy again after how many years?
And I am, you know, after watching off what France did, and I think not Ireland. Ireland had a shock against Italy this year.
Yeah.
But I want to see, obviously, of course, Bokke scoring great tries. I want to see the wings with the wind in their hair. But I've got to say, I would like 30 plus.
30,
I need
of
30
course,
points,
30
convincingly.
plus, yeah. I'll say 25 points or 3 tries more
That's cool.
than
That's
Italy.
perfect.
And then I'll be happy. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And our set pieces. I need our scrums to be tight. I need our lineouts to be proper. And I need our kicks. If you're taking our kicks, they must be there. There we go. And I'd love to see him in, not in a Barbarians game. I'd love
I
to
need
see
him in a Barbarians game.
No.
Too soon.
I want him
That's
at the
early.
second Italy game.
No, I need Stokes in either
Or at
Barbarians
Georgia.
or Georgia.
I'm saying it now while I've got this looking at me, and I know this is going to go up in air. Ntokozo Mokaza plays. I was going to say starts. Whoa. Starts, nails a conversion against Oz. He's going to play. Not start. Sorry.
Australia.
Come on, brother.
Wallabies. Do you know who those men are? Come on, mate.
Hey, mate.
Bro, that's what he's going to have three months of the Rassie. Hey, they're going to break
Guys, I want
his
to be a different
balls,
animal.
bro.
Yeah,
They're going to break his
it's one
balls,
of those.
bruh.
He's like a Pollard Hueson where, dog, it's a one of a kind where you can't just skip professional rugby and just get into your box setup. And Rassie won't take him from a varsity cup straight to the box setup for nothing. There's definitely something there.
Yeah, he saw something.
And hey, man,
Yeah, but that talent behind on the tee is
you understand? No,
Even the-
varsity cup.
even the
Did
security
he miss,
at 15.
Did he miss a kick? He got like 28 or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's his stats? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he topped Polly's score. He was 130 something points that he scored. But I mean, I'm just saying it in a way like, yes, okay, we know Mani and we call him Mr. Missbok, but you know,
But he's still the money man.
I love Mani.
Mani man.
Please, I can't
understand
stand when
Mani
someone
Lipock
slays
slagging
Mani. I'm
but
pleased
Mani
to say,
Lipock,
go away,
you
please.
must
Chuck him
respect
big.
that man.
Want another one?
Nah, I'm okay. Mani is the definition of making a line work with you, bro. And but for me, okay, we've got Mani on. Then I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen how tall Mkaza is, but if you put him at 15, let's just say you've got a kicker on. So you know, if we lose Sash and Polly,
I love how he says with me.
NTK.
I can't wait to hear Koza commentary.
Okay, yo, you guys are not. You guys are.
No.
Ah.
Koza.
You are changing the clicks,
It's
man.
fine.
Goodness gracious, leave it at
It's fine.
Okes, I do want to take it a little bit to a somber place based on just what you guys spoke about. So the dangers of playing rugby and especially playing front row.
Yo.
In the past, not even the past year, the past 6 months, we've had an NWU player pass away who played hooker. I'm not going to mention his name because we're not going to do that.
Yeah, rest in peace, my
don't.
boy.
We've got Stephen Kitchoff, who's had to retire after a freakish scrum practice. And now also Frans Malherbe is injured, but it's a back injury. But what do you think it's linked to? Playing prop, scrumming. I think people need to understand. Let me just finish, then you guys will go. The danger of playing rugby. Rugby is a very physical and dangerous game. Especially playing
Tight
front row.
five.
We need to understand the risk these people are putting their bodies through, and I don't think people appreciate this, and that's why they chirp players like, oh fuck, you can't fucking scrum. Brother, you step in front of that front row and take 1,000 kilos of force and then hit another man like that.
Let me. Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Go for
I'll start from 2011 when I first started playing proper rugby at high school. Even though I played under 14 Gs and worked myself up sharp. We first started with crouch, touch, pause, engage. The amount of necks that I saw break, I won't mention them. 3. Those
One
guys.
was a lock hair from school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One, he's married now, DH. And then also he could have played first team as well.
Let's not say break, but get injured beyond where you can
Proper,
play again.
exactly. And then World Rugby changed the rules and they said, can you set so you see where you can aim? Because with the touch, pause, engage, it was basically touch, pause, engage. But with the set, it was neck to neck,
like a
shoulder to
fucking
shoulder,
5 centimeter car
and then
crash,
you
bro.
can go in. But still there, your shoulder, your neck muscles, and your arm. If you're not proper tight, my boy, you're gonna get crumbled. And when that happens, your spinal cord is done. What happens to your spinal cord is basically your whole body. You're paralyzed from neck down.
Even the collapse, yeah.
You understand? With the collapse. And when if you're a hooker or a tight head, it's done for you if you're not proper.
Hooker.
You understand? So just to proper wrap this up, if you're not a proper tight 5, don't think you're gonna go play there. And if, like me, I've played tight 5 high school, but at varsity, I played one game and I was like, no, I'm not going there. I played one game and I was like, there's a reason why I went to the back row. Because, wow, gents are thick with their necks.
Yeah.
You're small, you have a small neck. Sure, my neck is tight, but
And how big is Dan?
My
bro?
neck
You
was bigger
understand?
in matric. Yes, I saw a picture of my neck.
Exactly. But because of the intensity that's there, be it under 14 FG to first team rugby, look at the kids that are playing right now. Look at their necks. They make sure that they are fucking.
Why can't primary school
Proper.
kids scrum fully?
Because of that, they haven't fully developed. And if you get the education there with players and coaches so they understand, boys, I understand sometimes you want to play, it's for the team, it's for the school, whatever. But if you're not feeling right, say, ref, I can't scrum, wait, I'm not set properly. Because if you scrum skew, it's done for you. Your life is over.
Even if
I wanna hear Dan's point of view on this
Yeah,
as well.
this is a big topic of conversation.
Yeah.
In terms of danger, I mean, even like we talk, when the scrum collapses. I mean, I've been in situations, and as a prop, and when I was prop, like when that scrum collapses, it takes like 5 seconds for Okes to
Release.
dismantle. You're stuck there.
You're
like
stuck in that
fucking-
position.
like proper, bro. And it's like, I've had it where like I'm suffocating under the oak and you don't want to panic. You actually like sit there and you just wait for the oaks
Breathe
to passively.
slowly.
You can't breathe, bro. They're on top
But
of you.
try slowly, like
Yeah,
breathe in.
I hear you. But I remember I'd just sometimes just hold it in. But you look at it, I mean, for me, I'd always think it's the hooker due to the fact that he's got, like sometimes if the scrum drops, it drops so quickly. But sometimes, for instance, and you're the first oak to get off, you're not
As
bonded.
loose, yeah.
Yeah. But you remember, you're taking the grit of the impact in a scrum.
True.
And with regards to dangers, I think it's 100% that when it comes to scrum time, it's probably the most dangerous time on a rugby field. Actually, is scrum time, and then you want to say the importance of a tight 5. Never mind the fact of how your tight 5 will obviously the better are the techniques, the safer the scrum, etc., like that, and scrummaging IQ, etc. But also with the importance of a tight five, you kind of want them to. What's the word? I'm getting a little bit lost.
No, you are cooking.
No, sure.
It's coming.
With the tight five, obviously, like we said, you know, the game, most of the time you can see a game is won and lost with the tight five. But if you actually think set pieces and tight five compensate for one another, and they make rugby the game it is what it is.
Hence it's rugby union. Yep.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because if you don't have a scrum in rugby, then what's the point of having okes and stuff like if you don't have the scrum?
It's not a game for everyone.
Yes,
and every size.
it's
part of the game.
Yeah, so now when you have the scrum and the set piece and stuff, you can say rugby is for everyone. And it's important because for me, set pieces, well, especially as a Springbok fan, we've learned that. But even just watching other countries doing it, like set pieces are important. And if you know the battle between the tight five, you can see who's got the upper hand on one another. So, yeah, I mean, tight five is another thing about the tight five is their glamorous moments are not like anybody else's. You know, their hustle is a completely different hustle. They have the grind, they're the grit.
Doesn't show up on the stat sheet.
Yeah,
How many rucks you've hit?
never.
How many fucking driving moves you've tried to push over?
Morstat is a
Look
great
at how-
example. Look how many hits Morstat does.
That was who my intro was going to be about.
Exactly.
Morstat. Bro.
And look at how the Bomalume, we call them Bomalume. Ox,
Jim,
Bonambi, Trevor.
and Trevor. Look at how they smile when they're like, we bended those oaks. That's their try because that's what they're there for. That's the KPI that.
And
how
without
many
them?
people without them we wouldn't have scored that penalty at the half time. I mean, at the halfway line. Without them,
We would never have this.
nothing.
We would have never had this.
Nothing. The reason why, what do you call this? World Rugby cancelled the mark scrum is because of our tight five. And that's the reason why we beat France. That's the reason why we...
Yeah, because they kept sitting in the middle of the field. So
Exactly.
we're like, hey, come get busy.
So
Come, let's
that's
get
the
warm,
tight
my
five.
friend.
Influence, guys. I will close this one over here. Backline sell you tickets. Front fives win you championships. Thank you very much, Dala. Oh, it's Dangers of Rugby, my boy, to close us off.
Let's close this off. It's not with the dangers of rugby. It's just something, I mean, I can't think of the right catchphrase. Like, not really food for thought, but I mean, 1901. Yeah, no. You guys will enjoy this. 1901. I've been really trying to keep up with my box history and stuff like that. I've like sometimes.
For Paul Ross and stuff.
Yeah, well, this was 5 years before Paul Ross. 5 years before the Springboks was.
Springboks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the green and gold, if I'm not mistaken. But
Just during the Anglo-Boer War.
yes, yeah, exactly. But I can't remember the splits of the scrum beforehand. But 1901, a man by the name of South African, by the name of Ferry Hitler. I don't know if he's the brother of Barry Hitler.
Ferry who?
Ferry Hitler.
Sounds very, very snacks, I know.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Ferry.
Yeah, who? Hitler.
H-E-A-T-L-I-E.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, now I don't know if he is the brother of Barry Hitler, who was also in like 1903, one of the first Springbok captains. He was the first touring captain. Barry Hitler was the first Springbok touring captain. So I don't know if Ferry Hitler is involved in that, but Ferry Hitler, South African, was the man who invented the 3-4-1 split for the scrum.
I hear you.
Okay.
You're cooking.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd pass
So
it on. That's why we're the big dogs when it comes to scrum time, brother.
We're the proper innovators of scrum.
Yeah, I don't know what the split was. I don't know if it was like a
4-4.
It was probably a fucking weird 4-2-2 or something.
Yeah, it actually started off like a 2-3. It was weird, but we established
Makes sense now.
the 3-4-1 split,
Okay.
which started in 1901. So there you have it.
That was a lovely little
Bok trivia. There we go.
Yeah, trip down Mary
Who knows?
Lane.
Maybe there'll be a Balls and Banter Boks trivia, but yeah, joking. Let me
You
see.
know who to call, my brother.
I know you can't win it. You're part of the family now. Gents, I want to chat about the importance of rugby characters in terms of growing the game. I think the generation we're in, everything is about who's playing the game. You look on Netflix, a Neymar has his own documentary. The cricket players, Court of Gold, basketball will have their own documentaries. Rugby had that full contact for about 2 seasons. It got cancelled. But now, in terms of, like, let's step back, Okes. Everyone here has played, I assume, no. Everyone has played rugby at a certain level. I've played club rugby, I've played varsity rugby. You know the characters in terms. I know I don't look like it, bro, but I'm a varsity cup champion, courses, dog. But you know, we have those characters in terms of fine sessions. You know, you've got your fines masters. You've got the player who can't tackle for shit, will score 3 tries and comes out clean every single game. You've got your Okes who are like, nah, we've got to do this, but he can't play for jack, bro. Drops every single ball. The game is grown by its characters, and I feel like we're not utilizing our characters, our Mac Hansons. Lovely moustache.
Pat Cummins, bro. You remember Honey Badger?
Exactly. Nick Cummins.
Was it Nick Cummins?
Nick Cummins.
Yeah.
A piece of meat when he scores a try. Piece of meat.
Yeah.
Also, we're talking like a gypsy with a fucking mortgage, eh?
Working harder than a one on bricklaying in Baghdad. Stop Trevisto and
I was in your bags, Dad, before I was in Baghdad, my man. You understand?
I don't even know what the fuck Yokes are even talking about, but it's funny.
That's the honey badger.
Oh, really?
That's your honey badger.
Yeah.
My man.
Dog. So
Pat Cummins said that.
Nick Cummins. Pat Cummins is a bowler, but yeah. But Trevisto, you've got him. Whenever he wins the game, now he shouts that, you know, Tusopala thing.
Yeah, with that tongue as well, bro. Down here, bro. Licks his belly button, bro.
Big Dan, no.
Kuzega. Those are Malum.
Those are the Malum Springs.
Yes.
But I get you, yeah.
But I'm like, characters like that, I feel like the game is not utilizing those guys to grow. They're trying to say, no, we need to have a World Cup in USA. But guys, these people are here. Even Itzebeth showed his light-hearted side after the World Cup final with Erge, shaved a mohawk, had a fucking JBL speaker, and he said, yo, Xiso, Gaza got a tattoo on his ass, bro.
Yeah.
The whole world fucking saw that.
Yes.
And I just don't understand why we're not tapping into those guys like the media in terms of, guys, listen, we know you guys are these professionals. Let's find a medium where we can grow your guys' brand, make you more money, make you more successful. But we grow the game, and when we grow the game, you guys get to stay here for longer, allow yourselves to build this massive career. I just don't get why World Rugby is not doing that. Why are we still trying to close off so much? We don't need to be in the change room, but we need to see these guys like outside. What do they do? What does Gaza love doing? Hachiva went on a bender, dog, after winning the UFC.
I love that bender.
For 3 days. Went inside a pool, dog, and he said, hey, I'm out, boys, now I can't do this anymore. That shit was amazing, bro. Alex Good wore a nurse's outfit to the stadium, to Mad Mondays.
Yeah?
Who?
Alex Good, he's an England fullback.
Oh, yes.
Those type of characters, Okes, you Okes are fucking characters. Don't take out your stories.
Damien not taking off his Bok jersey or his kit or after
Even Cheslin there by TSTV, and he was like, and I'm married with 3 kids.
That was a week later, bro. He still had his kit on. And he only took it off when
Smells
he
like
went to
shit.
Yes, and Gia knew, gale. Yes.
But I need us to start tapping into the characters of the game, gents.
I agree with you. Then there's definitely a lot. I personally, I love the whole scrum half. There's leeway for scrum halves.
Yeah,
you know, when Okes like, this isn't football, I'm like, but it is a scrum half.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like Nick White doing his little schmucky thing. Right. Yes, when the long arms against us, we like. But then after the game, when we pumped them, we're like, hey.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's what it is, bro. So we need characters like your Buckies. We need your...
Sorry, Kepi.
You understand?
It was a bad angle.
You understand? Yeah. You understand? We need the honey badges. I get it with the conservatives where they're like, but we need it for rugby. We need it for the game to grow. With the New Zealand tour that's coming in next year, if I'm not mistaken, we need that. Where even though, like how we complain about rugby tickets, where the New Zealanders are going to play at Ellis Park or at the Free State Stadium against the Cheetahs or the South African Barbarians, where we need someone who's going to just steer it, bro. Like, we need that to make rugby nice and be like, yo, what's happening? Or for a person that hasn't watched rugby or doesn't watch rugby as religiously as us, be like, oh, what's happening? I love that guy. He just dances. He's just there. He passes the ball and he, he's got that flair in it.
Just we don't want the football fans. We don't want the football fans.
The beautiful game is the beautiful game.
Simple.
Brazil,
Yeah.
so
that's what I want. Literally, that's what I want.
Nah, man. Okes, allow the characters to shine through. Allow Mac Hansen showing his bum on a podcast, which is fucking crazy.
And get some
Shout out
and
to
the
Coco.
beef. The beef.
And the
Some
beefs.
players beef.
Johnny Sexton and Rico
Omani's, the Sam Canes.
Let the world on fire.
Yeah.
Allow it.
You
I
know,
agree.
play the fucking Mandoza and Kalagata after losing to South Africa in the quarterfinal. Literally, you're crying there on the floor. Kalin Kalagata, Zakala, boy.
Sister Petina.
All right,
But nah, man,
that's what we want.
on to another thing. I think one
That's what we
dramatic
want.
change that's coming through for the rugby calendar now is this Rugby World Cup.
Please.
And I think
Go Greek was.
when you compare it to what's happening in football, I think rugby fans are actually open to it because in terms of like the rivalries we've had, we've always wanted to say, like you said, Crusaders versus Leinster. Who the fuck wins?
Yeah.
Then you throw a Bulls inside there. Then you throw a Stade Toulouse there. And it's like, who's the actual best club rugby team in the world?
Racing 92
Unfortunately, I'm going to
against
say
the
it.
the Blues.
Nazo,
Boys.
Highlanders versus
Highlanders,
Harlequins.
the wooden spooners. Highlanders.
The worst of the West. Can happen.
Highlanders versus Lions.
Okay, realistic. Chiefs versus
Bulls.
Bordeaux Begle.
Okay, sorry. Bordeaux by 50.
Northampton
sure?
Saints, Northampton
I feel it,
Saints
bro.
versus Brumbies.
Shit like that is going to happen.
It should, but obviously
Yeah, absolutely.
it'll depend on the tables because apparently they're going to take the top 8
Champions Cup
of Champions Cup and then top what?
4 or 5 of
Top 4 Super Rugby, 2 in Japanish,
2 in Japan, 1
MLR.
might be 1 in Argentina.
and then
so we
MLR
form part of
one.
the MLR maybe 1. We form part of the
European.
Champions Cup teams as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so we need to make top 8. That's where the South African teams
Oh,
need to-
European, not URC.
No,
European.
Cup.
Championship. Yeah, the Champions Cup. Not
They
even,
literally
not
need to
even
go to
European, not the second.
I think that's where the South Africans will start taking that
They
concept.
must take it
Because we
seriously
take it for
because
bullshit, that comp.
can I say something?
little bit out of
the
reach,
money
I
that's
must
there,
be honest.
it's going to be crazy. Sorry for talking
it is.
over it. It's going to be crazy. So if they take it seriously, they can bring in the other South African players that are overseas, bringing back your achievers, bringing back your.
Tyrant Green.
You understand?
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, we'll talk another episode on them. But yeah,
Yeah, definitely. That's
so yeah, that's how I feel like.
But nah, man,
it needs to happen.
I fucking love this whole Club Rugby World Cup thing that's gonna happen, and it's also every 4 years, so it's not a thing of like that gets mundane.
Nah.
Like
Exposure. It's something to look forward to for the players.
I thought I was gonna say something Soweto, but it's alright. But I think it's honestly such a good idea, boys. I think to
Wrap it
close
up.
this off, some nonsense chats. All right, Okes, best sports bar in Johannesburg. Hogshead, you all
Hogshead,
Hogshead.
Dilovo, I'd like to just give a shout. This is my camera now.
Oh.
Like to give out a shout out to Tau, Melus, Marshall. Who else? Is that the top 3?
What's
management?
that one's name?
Konka.
again?
There's Mona Lisa. There's Kule.
The entire staff at Hogshead Logo.
I don't know if his name is Forget or Remember, but somewhere there. The bomb in there. Like, shout out to Hogs. They were the first people that we approached to shoot an episode on the phone.
And
they're
saw the
"Do
vision
it."
with this.
They saw the vision. We grew, now we back here. And they're like, shout out. You understand? Shout out to them. What else?
We don't need to mention the rest. Oh, shout out. No, we don't need to mention the rest.
Yeah,
it's fine.
but
This
it's
is
fine.
It's about Hogshead Logo. Oaks, for me, honestly, watching a rugby episode here, let's put aside the emotion.
I cried here.
Yeah, he's a wanker. Yeah, but
No, that England versus South Africa game, that semi-final.
he's
I was sweating, bro.
I sat down.
I remember
I sat
fucking
down
lost.
there. Bro.
We've lost it. Fuck, holding my head like this. I was like, fuck.
Oaks probably aged themselves like 3 years off that shit.
English
Eh?
man.
I grew a great
Anybody
hair.
but fucking English.
Shout out to Melusi, Hogshead Logo.
Melusi,
Hola,
please come,
Malume.
come,
Yeah,
please,
bonga.
Let's go, Melusi. Let's go, Melusi.
Good man. Thank you.
there we
These
go,
are the
there we
people who
go, there we
believed in
go.
us, honestly.
Yeah.
And we're going onwards and upwards from here.
The person that believed in us when we just had a phone.
Oaks.
Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. cameras.
And it was a Nokia that time.
You understand?
It wasn't a fucking Nokia.
It was a Nokia. But yeah, thank you.
Oaks, please come through whenever there's a Springboks game. Let's fill this place up. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's an incredible vibe. Allow it.
Hogs at Love, it's a place to be, guys. You know where to find us.
Yeah.
Shameless plug, Owens.
DJ Andre after 9. It's nice.
Place is always pegged. Meet us tonight.
No
Thank
DJ
you, guys.
Danko, Sharks game versus Bulls. We here.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, guys. So yeah, what's your best ball? Where do fucking go? Don't worry.
Like a straight, when I was hitting it, cheapers, I was all over the fucking place. But another one is that we could mention, it's a little bit off by 14th Avenue. It's a green and gold bar. It's
Where?
called 14th Avenue, Rudaport. It's actually called...
14th Avenue.
Yes, bro.
You know I'm from there.
Really?
He's there, but
You're a Westerner.
Why do you think I'm so swaggy?
Yeah. I never.
Look at the eyes. They
So you've never seen it when you're driving past, you're going down, we passed the Virgin Active there towards 14th Avenue on ramp.
Nothing.
Lalile, this one.
Awulali, man.
Leave this one alone.
Awulali, boys.
Oaks, if you had, who do you think is the best rugby commentator of all time worldwide?
Yeah, we are. 2004.
Oh, super,
the Springboks versus the All Blacks.
A case boy. Hugh Bladen.
Hey! Of course. The moment he started, I just knew.
Yeah.
You know, I also enjoy it. Who's that Aussie guy? Marika Korombekte.
Fuck.
Who is that?
Oh no, fuck.
I love that.
I see bald head. Tony, is it Tony Maloney? No.
No, it's
Fuck,
not
yes,
Maloney.
I see what
Yeah.
you're talking
Maloney.
about. I know what you're talking about. Yes, him.
This guy, he just knows the trial.
He's looking absolutely lethal today.
Marika Korombekte.
Josh, who's your rugby I know what he's talking about.
Oh, but wait, I'm going to
That's
say it.
me.
Quick one. Massive shout out to Shimmy. I love Matthew as
you
well.
like Shimmy?
Matthew, especially during Bok games.
Okay.
But Shimmy, got to say, Shimmy just got that gentleman's toe now. I must say, Shimmy's...
My top one is it's Ichala. There's the Ntangam. Amawele. There's the
Kunze
Mnyama. Kaya Molotana.
And
Yes, that's mine, bro. So the Australian, okay, no.
it's all right. We'll say we'll remember it. But even
yes,
me,
I know who you're talking about.
bruh, for me,
Yeah,
it's the
get the
closer commentators, the
Of
team
course.
of Kaya Malotana and Lonwabo Mtimka.
Nwabo.
Yeah.
Actually, all you hear is fucking makes the whole moment.
I just can't wait till Kozo Makaza gets a 50-meter
Kozo
try.
Makaza.
And that's
I
all
want
these oaks are going to be saying for the next 10 seconds. Kozo Makaza.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
They're gonna give him a proper nickname.
Dog.
Watch.
Umntana womqhuba.
Nguba.
Iwele lam.
Cocomelon. You understand?
Uyasazi
SpongeBob.
Sushi.
SpongeBob. So you don't know. Maybe they call him SpongeBob or someone, but that's mine. Kunze Mnyama.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Also the New Zealanders, man.
Yeah.
Justin Marshall.
Justin Marsh.
His excitement.
Marshy's got such a...
There's a reason why the super sports were like, Marshy, come, we're taking you to the World Cup, and you're gonna fucking work for super sport because Marshy is one of
He encapsulates the passion
The
of the
best.
game.
Never mind the fact that he's the highest
and he's not
scrum half
biased.
try scorer for the All
and
Blacks.
he's not biased. And he's not biased.
Oaks Rousseau is fucking pumping out stats like nothing, honestly.
This man is coming back. You're coming back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tumsan. And my last one, Grant Nisbet, bro.
Really?
Fucking good, bro. Grant Nisbet. That Albany try where Nehem Milner-Skudder and Bowden Barrett connected is him. Watch that try, bro.
Okay,
Watch
you do this then. You go watch that try when Banner did the intercept in Argentina.
With Hugh Bladen.
And he's just like, what? Off you go, Banner! Off you go!
Nah, but Hugh Bladen, he's the legend of commentary because I don't know anyone else before Hugh Bladen. Mark Pearson, shout out to him. Matt Pearson, shout out to him. Matt Pierce. Hey man, I'm sorry I'm butchering. It's Brandovens.
Brand, I told you, son of the brand.
But Matt, he is our Hugh Bladen, but I don't wanna dilute Matt. Matt is one of the institutions of our commentary in South African rugby, whereas we know when we're listening in, if we're not happy with the Afrikaans commentators or the Xhosa commentators, I'm listening to Matt. He'll give you the stats, he'll give you everything, and he'll make sure that you listen to the rugby. And if you're blind, he'll put the game in your fucking head.
And he's not biased. Matthew is not biased.
Can I give you an amazing moment from Matthew Pierce? Was the Springboks World Cup 2019 after Cheslin had scored the try,
or whatever.
and he was like, the South Africans have finally reached the end of the rainbow. They finally achieved their dreams.
Yeah.
First try
scoring a Rugby World Cup. Cheslin Colby.
Second.
Yes, Oaks, that was an amazing. Please watch that moment.
Oak is like, South Africa, the World Cup is this. Yeah,
He's an Englishman, but I don't know who he is, but shout out to you if you
remember
know
that,
yourself.
I don't know how he tried to play off being happy there, but hey, shout out to you too, my brother.
Ernst, to close it off, Balls and Banter, Season 4, Episode 5. I knew it was gonna cook. Right now, I don't have gooses.
Nyashi Salah.
On in Donna on, and we're gonna keep cooking. Thank you.
Shout out to Hogs.
To Josh. Shout out to Dan Russo.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, boys.
Mailani.
Thanks, Nduna Yams.
And
my hands are sweaty, bro.
No, it's fine. As long as you're not
backroom staff. Sipo, Cats, Banele. And thank you.
Shout out to the
Hogshead Ilova. This is where you watch rugby in South Africa. If you can't get to the stadium in Johannesburg,
download the
home of Johannesburg Rugby. Download the app. Puza Specials. We're out.
There we go.
Thank you, boys. I'm looking forward to that one.
Come.